What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Knuckle Sandwich, another live stream with another up-and-coming guy. We've got Tyler No Smoke Stout coming on tonight. We've got Guess the Fighter with my wife. We had some technical difficulties the first time around. We went and bought some mics. I told Lawton I was going to do this, but I'm going to drop the Venmo of the comments. Help your boy out. It's expensive out here, man. It's expensive to try to do this high-quality stream like we do all the time. We're going to talk about some trending topics, some hot topics with Tyler Stout. Me and him will go head-to-head in some debating. I don't think there's going to be much. Me and him see pretty eye-to-eye on most things. But as always, thank you for showing up. Thank you for watching the stream. If you will, hit that subscribe button. It just helps. It's a free way to help me out along the way. We're trying to grow. We're trying to get into PFL Nashville on August 2nd doing some media. So tag PFL. Tell them to hurry up and message me back. Other than that, I think we can just go ahead and get this Guess the Fighter started. Lawton, are you ready? All right. Bring in the guesser. This is my wife. Everybody say hello to Haley. All right, man. Very first. So all these guys are fighting this weekend in London. Just keep throwing that out there.
Okay.
You're welcome. All right. Very first fighter. Lawton, go ahead and throw him up. Can you see that?
I know exactly
who is that?
Patty Pimblett.
Dang.
Hey, I pay attention.
That was fast. That was a fast one.
I recognize the
It was
hair.
no Dustin Poirier, but it'll do.
Hey, man. No, yep.
All right, 1 for 1. Number 2.
Oh my god.
Again, she's got a list of 20 names off to the side over here. Describe him as you go.
Okay, I mean, he looks familiar.
Okay.
But that doesn't always help me.
Okay.
Oh no.
What does he look like?
I can't really.
You think he hits hard?
Oh, I think he hits hard as crap. I'd be scared. Oh. This one's gonna be bad. Because I know he's like well known, but I don't know.
He's fighting for a belt this weekend.
Okay. Oh.
It doesn't help you at all.
No, it doesn't.
All right.
Is it Jalen Turner?
No, it's not Jalen Turner. That's Tyler's laughing in the background. That's Curtis Razorblades. Curtis Razorblades.
I don't see my. Oh.
Yeah, Curtis.
Okay.
I didn't put his nickname.
Yeah, maybe that'll help next
time. All right,
time.
last one.
That was bad.
We're 1 for 2. Let's try and finish it out.
Oh, he looks kind of short.
So a little guy.
A little guy. Still could knock me the heck out.
Probably. He's got a mouth on him.
He's got a mouth?
I watched the press conference with this guy, and you were like, dang.
Oh, man, but I say that about a lot of people.
Probably. What's he look like?
I don't know.
What do you feel like?
I mean,
so you said he's little.
He's a little
So
guy.
how much do you think he weighs?
Oh, don't ask me that. Little. I don't want to say that. Body positivity. Positivity, you know? Okay. Arnold Allen.
No. Even smarter.
What is it?
Manil Cop.
I don't see his name either.
Right at the very bottom.
Oh.
Boom. 1 for 2 is not. 1 for 3 is not that bad. Did you do better the first time?
No, I think it's the same as
All right.
last time. We'll
Excellent.
get there. You're welcome.
Now that the mood is nice and light and Tyler's been laughing in the background the whole entire time, let's go ahead and bring in Tyler Stout and let's get this interview going. No smoke!
What's
up, bro? How are you?
I'm good, man. Great.
Got a big fight coming up here soon. I'm happy that we were able to get you on right before it happens. But right before we talk about that, I got to talk about you signing with ECB Sports at the management company. How does that feel?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Ed Barnett. He took me in, man. We've been talking for a while before I signed to him. He was actually a friend of a mutual friend. I know his nephew, and he got me in connect with Ed, and we were talking for a couple months, and the guys just every time I texted him, he'd hit me back. Every time I called him, he answered the phone before I even signed with him. And I mean, I was even taking advice from the guys as far as, you know, things in my personal life, as far as training and stuff. And we ended up, you know, chopping it up a little bit more. And once I got with Derek Dispinette, it was kind of the right move to make to go ahead and sign with Ed. And then he came with the Fury deal, and we took advantage of it, man. So shout out to Ed Barnett.
Hey, bro. So, I mean, what is it like having a manager in the sense of getting fights and things like that? Because as an amateur, I'm sure before, you know, you were booking your own things or going through your coach, but now, does he handle all that kind of stuff? He just hits you up with names and all that? And then what is that like?
Yeah, man. I mean, at first it was it's kind of like, a name here and there. And, I'm not really the type to turn anything down, but making the pro debut, it definitely should make more sense. But he came with the Fury deal. It was actually a matchup at first, and then it came along with the deal because I guess they checked me out and they liked what they saw, and they thought I had potential to make a run in their promotion, and they could try to get me to a higher level after that. And I guess Fury's just got the flyweight roster on lock, man. If you're a flyweight, Fury's the place to be as far as, kicking in the gates for the UFC once you get through them. So I think that was just the right move to make overall, regardless of who the opponent was or what was going on, man, because like I said, that's definitely the place for a flyweight to get on the roster.
Yeah, Fury FC is a big name, especially for you to start, getting your I gotta mess with my camera real quick.
Yeah, I was doing the same.
And all right, here we go. Yeah, I mean, Fury FC is a huge name, especially to be making your pro debut in. I mean, in my opinion. And so you were really originally scheduled back in June to be making your pro debut, right? And Lawton, if you will pull up the photo of his eye, bro. I gotta see the eye because about 8 days prior to your pro debut, you got this nasty eye poke. Talk to me about how this happened, man, and what was your initial reaction to getting injured before this fight?
Well, first of all, I can honestly say I've had a lot of injuries, growing up. And then I've fought with injuries, that I've gotten through amateur training camps and stuff. That was by far the most painful thing that I've probably dealt with in my life. What happened was we were doing like our final hard session, and it wasn't even sparring. It was more like my guy had a belly pad on, and I had small gloves on, and we were kind of light sparring / pad work session, but it was more of a high pace, a lot of volume and stuff. And thumb happened to go in my eye. And what it did is scratched 40% of my cornea. And then on the inside of that white part where you saw all the blood, it was an 8 millimeter wide scratch inside of my eye to where, stitches got involved, etc. I got taken straight from the gym to emergency to urgent care, and then I got transported from urgent care directly to the ER because urgent care recommended me to get directly to the ER because down at U of L they got an eye doctor on call, and they were afraid that I might lose my vision if they weren't able to get me to an eye doctor. So what they did, they just numbed it up real good the best they could, so I wasn't in too much pain before I got to the ER. And I mean, they had to feed me through and got me straight into the doctor. And the way, honestly, the doctor scared me more than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be fine and still be able to fight. Obviously, as fighters, we're pretty tough, and we never think of like the worst possible scenario. So pulling out wasn't even on my mind at that time. And then when they told me the time frame of healing, I asked the doctor, I asked her, I was like, well, what if we heal up a little bit quicker than we think? And I still take the fight. What happens if this guy pokes me on accident in the eye in the fight? And they were like, first of all, you're going to be compromised even if you still decide to fight. And then you don't even have to get poked. As soon as you get touched in your eye, you're going to be fully compromised, and then you could risk, partial permanent vision in your eye. And then being a fighter, you got to pass eye exams in certain states. So I'm thinking even if I did take the fight, I mean, I couldn't even open my eye for about 5 days regardless. So even if I did go down there to the fight, I wouldn't have passed medicals at the weigh-ins or before the fight at all. So I would have went down there for nothing. So, go ahead.
I was going to ask, man, like, what was the road to recovery like? How long did you have to stop training and those kind of things? Because I mean, you're talking almost permanent vision loss, man. That's legit. That's big. What was the road to recovery like?
I couldn't train for about 3 weeks, and then once I did get back training, I couldn't spar for a couple of days because obviously it was a little flinchy as far as the nerves in my eye. Mentally, I was ready to get back into it, but I think just my body was kind of hesitant a little bit to get hit in my eye. And then once I got through that first sparring session, I was fine, ready to get right back to it. But I mean, that first week, it was all dark room in my house. For about 5 days, I couldn't open my eye to wear eye patch just to keep my other eye open. I could barely watch Dustin versus Islam that weekend. I couldn't take my dog outside during the day because of sunlight, so I had to have a buddy of mine come over and walk my dog. I mean, it was pretty fucked up, bro.
Dang, man.
Yeah, I was scared for sure, man. I think the doctor scared me worse after hearing from them, but I had to go see a specialist the week after and stuff. I mean, it was definitely the most serious injury I've ever dealt with in my life.
The eye looks a lot better now than it did about 2 months ago, and so now
Yeah.
we are prepared to finally make the pro debut. Fury FC 95, Lingo versus Teague, August 2nd on UFC Fight Pass. It's huge.
Yeah, bro.
Huge for pro debut. And you're going to be fighting Aaron Peterson now. He's 1-0 guy out of Texas. I mean, what do you know about this guy? Have you done any film study on him? I mean, what really made you choose him for this pro debut?
Yeah, man. I mean, the name got offered to me immediately. As soon as the name got offered to me, we signed the contract and sent it back before I even looked it up. Before I watched film on him, at least, because obviously the matchup made sense with him having 3 amateur fights and 1 pro fight. So as soon as I seen that, we signed the contract and sent it back, and then we started jumping straight into film. Like I said, I'm not one to really turn down a fight, so if the matchup made sense, we went ahead and took it. And then we jumped into film. I had my buddy Zach Grosso immediately get on the film. We had plenty of time for this camp. And my head coach Derek get on the film. I do film study once a week, every Monday with my coach Zach Grosso. So we've done a lot of film on this guy. I mean, he's scrappy, he's good, he comes forward, he's down to bang. Decent wrestling, decent cage work. I guess he has some high school wrestling credentials, whatever. Decent striking. I know his brother's been in the UFC, but that doesn't really mean nothing to me. But hey, look, man, I got respect for the guy before, during, after the fight. But I think August 2nd, man, you'll see that there's levels to this game.
With all this film study, you got to have some advantages in mind. So what are some advantages that you have over Peterson going into the fight?
Look, man, I think I got advantages everywhere it goes, bro. I mean, the guy hasn't fought in a year. And if you look and see who the guy has canceled bouts, even the guys that he fought, I mean, as an amateur, I fought some of the best guys across the country. I mean, you saw me fight Bryce Warner. Mm-hmm. I fought for titles in Florida, titles in Tennessee, titles in Kentucky. I've got 11 amateur fights, bro. This kid had 3 amateur fights. He's got 1 pro fight against a guy that's 0-3 and been knocked out twice, and he didn't finish him. He was preparing to fight like an 0-5 guy that pulled out on him before he got me. I just think, man, the guys that he's getting prepared to fight for and then taking the fight against me, look, man, I know he's at Fortis MMA, so I'm sure they're getting him together, but, on paper it is what it is, but I think you'll see, like I said, August 2nd, you'll see levels, man. I'm prepared anywhere the fight goes. I think I'm better anywhere the fight goes, and I can finish the fight at any spontaneous moment at all, wherever it goes.
Sure. I mean, I looking at it side by side, paper to paper, I would agree with you 100%. I think that you have the advantage. And so really for you, I mean, you've been on this journey, it seems like, for a long time. And like you said, you fought some of the top guys in like multiple different states. So what does it mean for you to finally have pro athlete, pro fighter next to your name?
Man, it feels good, but obviously I can't let it get to my head. And to be honest, I'm not a professional until I step in there and get that win. But I've been treating this, I've been very professional even as an amateur. I've always made weight. I've always taken my camps very seriously. I've taken my training very seriously. Everyone around me, as far as training partners, family, coaches, I don't let anybody around me that doesn't take it just as serious as I do. So I honestly feel like I've been a professional for a long time. At the level of my past couple fights, you can go back 5-6 fights. They're definitely professional level fights, just in the amateur rule set, man. So I feel like I've been a professional for a while.
So one question that I have to ask, do you have any dream matchups for yourself as a pro? Anybody that you have your eyes set on, or are you taking this one thing at a time?
I'm taking it one thing at a time, man. To be honest, I don't even know who the Fury flyweight champion is. I don't really care. I'm looking to get through this 4-fight deal and get to the UFC, bro. I mean, my main goal is to get to the UFC, be a professional fighter, do this as a career, have this as a career, make money, feed my family, put food in my son's mouth off of fighting. And then, I want to break in that top 15 in the UFC after I get there and start fighting for a title, man.
I love
I
it.
don't
Well, I
want
can't
to
wait to.
fight, bro. To be honest with you.
I can't wait to see where you end up because I know you definitely have that UFC potential, man. Just seeing you fight live multiple different times now, you've got it. So I'm excited to see where you get to.
Yeah, man. I think I'm one of the baddest little motherfuckers that you can go see out here for sure.
For sure. So, Tyler, I want to transition to these hot topics, man. So this is we started this where we started doing the lives, and it's been one of my probably top things that we've started doing. I mean, it's just fun to hear uh, fighters' perspectives of things going on, and of course, normally we just talk about the UFC and things like that. But Lawton, I'm gonna let you transition us into these hot topics because we're not even starting off with the UFC tonight.
No, no, we are not. So, yeah, Tyler, I think Brandon gave you kind of the rundown of what we do here in this section. We got 5 topics on the screen on the side. We're going to go one by one through them really quick. You each have 1 minute. I'm going to give a little preface, and then we got a question to follow it. So you're going to kind of have your 1 minute to give your concise thoughts on the topic, and then we'll jump to the other person. I'll kind of pick at random who goes first. But I guess to set the tone, we'll just go Brandon first. So yeah, the first topic we got the headline of Jake Paul, a name that probably everyone knows, I'm assuming at this point, whether it's from the fight world or from the YouTube world or from being annoyed at him, because that happens a lot. But Jake Paul defeats Mike Perry in a boxing match this past Saturday via TKO. So the question that you each get a minute on is, has Jake proven to be a legitimate boxer at this point? So, Brandon, we're gonna toss it to you first. So you got 1 minute. Has Jake Paul proven to be a legitimate boxer? Yes or no? Give us your thoughts. Your 1 minute starts now.
All right. Man, this is live. I'm dying on the inside. I'm wasting my time. Jake Paul. And I was skeptical at first, watching him fight like KSI and Nate Robinson and those kind of guys. I was like, dude, this dude ain't real. Then he fights Ben Askren. Again, everything seems staged. Even whenever he knocked out Tyron Woodley, I was like, dude, it's staged. You can see him dropping the hands. But as it went on, I'm starting to become more and more of a believer in Jake Paul. The reason is he puts in the work. He puts in the effort. He looks the part. He's got the style, he's got the power and all those kind of things. But the thing that discredits him for me is the weight differences in all of his fights. It never seems like he fights at the weight classes, the same weight classes as he's fighting. Even whenever he's fighting these, big name fighters like Mike Perry this past weekend, I think if he picks on somebody his own size, he may be on the wrong side, just like when he fought Fury.
All right, time's up. You went about half a second over, but we'll let it slide. Last week you were like,
muted.
Oh, I was muted on Discord. My apologies. The stream heard me, but faux pas on my end. I got too many things to balance over here. I forgot. But stream heard me. I was saying last week you were under by about 10 seconds. That one you went over by about half second to 1. So all right. It's okay. It's okay. We'll get there one day. But Tyler, you ready for your 1 minute?
Yeah, bro.
All right, man. Has Jake proven to be a legitimate boxer? Yes or no? Give us your thoughts. Your timer starts now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Jake's got the skill set to be boxing the guys that he's boxing because he's running his own promotion that he's fighting for, and he's obviously handpicking opponents. The guy's got the money to train at a high level and bring in high-level coaches and pay whoever he needs for sparring, too. I think I agree with him as far as the weight. He's not fighting guys, in his weight class, and like I said, he's handpicking opponents. Do I think he's got skill as a boxer to fight the guys he's fighting? Yes, obviously we saw it. Do I think he can be a boxing contender? Probably not. But I mean, look at the guys he's fighting, bro. They all of a sudden look very different. They step in there against Jake. They don't look the same as they've done before. Like Mike Perry, that was not the same Mike Perry that we saw in the past. And unfortunately, it broke my heart, bro. But I think we all kind of knew how that fight was going to go. But to be calling out Mike Tyson afterwards kind of pathetic, in my opinion.
There we go. Ended it on the dot. Love it. Love it. That was great. Still was muted. I tried to give you a 10-second warning, but that was on my fault. That was my fault. still wasn't me. I'm still getting the hang of all that.
I saw the timer, bro.
I was like, I hope you were watching it because I was like, and I just said it and nothing happened. So, all right, cool. Topic 1 finished, boys. We are moving on to the second one, Dustin Poirier. So, Dustin says that it has to be a, and I quote, big name for a return fight if it does happen. So, the question is, Who do you think Poirier comes back to fight? Tyler, we'll start with you on this one. So you got 1 minute. Give us your thoughts on who do you think will be a big enough fight for Dustin Poirier to come back. Your 1 minute starts now.
I mean, it's got to be either Connor or Gaethje or somebody, right? I was there in Salt Lake City when he fought Gaethje the second time. And, dude, that fight was fucking awesome, bro. I'm a big Gaethje fan, but I'm a big Dustin fan, too. I think I agree with him as far as it coming back. It's got to be a big fight for him, something that gets him up and ready to go and gets his blood pumping. I think Dustin has been through some wars, man, and I think I agree with him as far as what he says in all his interviews as far as, like, am I giving more than I'm gaining? You know, have I gave too much to this game? I think he's looking at it more like, am I taking too much damage compared to when I'm done? Can I still be here for my daughter and my family, etc.? So I feel him on that, bro. And I think if he wants to be done, I think he set a good enough legacy, definitely a Hall of Fame legacy already. I don't think he needs to fight. Do we all love Dustin and fight and we'll tune in? Yes. But I don't think Dustin needs to fight no more, bro. But if it is, it's Connor or Gaethje for sure.
Very nice. Nailed it. Right on the dot. 1 minute. Love it. Brandon, you ready for your 1 minute?
I think so.
All right. Who do you think? You're a big Poirier fan. At least your wife is. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But, all right. So for you, who do you think Poirier comes back to fight? What is the big enough name that he needs? Your 1 minute starts now.
If I'm speaking on my wife's behalf, he has to come back and fight, and he has to fight until he dies, basically. Like, that's her favorite fighter. That's the one that she knows the most, and if he ever retires, I feel like she will not enjoy watching fighting anymore. If it's me, though, the big names that have been thrown out, Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor, Volkanovski, Gaethje, Holloway, Oliveira, Colby Covington, the ones that I see that him talking the most about seems to be McGregor, Covington, and then him and Michael Chandler had a little bit of back and forth recently on Twitter, too. Which one makes the most sense? I mean, which one's going to sell the most money, right? He's not in the title contender picture anymore, really. I mean, coming off of some loss against Islam, you don't get many more chances after all of that. So I think it has to be like a big name fight. I think Conor draws the most money from anybody. I don't even think really Gaethje has that big of a ticket item for him. I think it's got to be Conor or just moving up a weight class or something.
Very nice. All right. Very nice.
Like I would love to see him fight Gaethje again. We're going over because I just want to talk with Tyler for a second.
Yours. Go for it.
I would love to watch him fight Gaethje again, but like I think both them guys got too much CTE to go in again and fight each other. You know?
One of them
What'd you say? Tyler? Your mic cut out.
One of them definitely gets knocked out again if they fight.
100%. That's why I'm like, man, I would rather see him fight like McGregor because I think he can. I feel like he can put McGregor away. The downfall is McGregor's going to want that 175, 170 weight class bullcrap that he's trying to pull with Chandler and all that. So it's like, it's all up to Dustin. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. Sweet. Gentlemen, very nice. 2 out of 5 finished. We are moving on to our third topic of shorts. So, Venum, the official kit sponsor and clothing company of the UFC, they are making custom shorts a comeback for select fighters each pay-per-view. So I've actually got, see if I can pull up the right. See if I can pull up the right link. We got a little preview of them. So here's just an example for Leon and Patty. Those are kind of their custom shorts right there. And then we got a little zoomed in version of each. So those are the custom kits that Venum is kind of making a comeback on and giving fighters kind of some customization. So, in your opinion, the question is, who has had the best custom shorts? Brandon, this sounds like a fun, so I'm gonna toss it to you to start with the first minute. So I hope you're ready. So, according to you, who has had the best custom shorts by Venum so far? Are you ready for your minute?
Yep.
All right, 1 minute starts right now.
So I guess looking at the grand scheme of things, I am so glad that UFC broke off with Reebok and went to Venum just in general. These shorts have been the best that they've been in a long time. And I think that the custom shorts are the way to go. I think everybody should get them because back in the day, you could have all your sponsors and all those things. And that's really what made it like unique for the fighters. You know, you had Chuck Liddell's Iceman shorts and all those kind of things. Like that was the thing that like really stapled that person to their personality. Now coming back to these ones that are new around, I think the worst ones, honestly, in my opinion, have been Gaethje's. I didn't really like Gaethje's that much, even with the American flag. It was just basically the same. But I really like Leon's. I've liked Alex Pereira's, and who else? Oh, and Max Holloway's have been really good too. But if I have to pick one, I think Leon Edwards is taking the crown because them things are sick.
All right. Very nice. With some seconds to spare on that one, so very good job. So, all right. Tyler, you ready for your minute?
Yep.
All right, man. Who has had the best custom shorts? You got 1 minute. Your timer starts now.
Bro, it's got to be Alex Pereira, dog. Hands down, Alex Pereira shorts. He's got 2 knockouts in the shorts. I'd say runner-up is Holloway for sure. His shorts are dope. Plus, he got knockout of the year in his shorts against my boy Gaethje. It hurt me to see, but, you know, he did his thing. As far as Gaethje's shorts, man, if you listen to the interview of him about making his shorts, he said he really didn't care because he wanted to focus on the fight. So he was like, just throw some American flags on there for me and I'll be good. So I understand. I love the idea of the custom shorts. I think everybody should have custom shorts like your boy said, because, you know, like Chuck Liddell had his own, Anderson Silva had the notorious black and yellow shorts. That's how fighters are remembered, man. Sometimes, especially the casuals. Oh, the guy with the ice shorts, the black and yellow shorts, etc. And then I think it was good that they switched to Venum from Reebok, because Venom's always been like MMA gear and stuff anyway. Reebok's just kind of a known street brand as far as shoes and clothing.
Very nice. All right. Minute on the dot. Very nice, gentlemen. We're going to move to our next topic. We got UFC London this weekend. So I've actually got the fight card pulled up, but we're going to be talking about the 2 titles that are on the line. So we got in the main event, we got Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad. Obviously, Leon holding the belt. Then we got Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blades as the co-main event, also for the interim belt, with Tom being the holder. So the question is, with 2 titles on the line, who are you taking in both fights and why? So we got Leon, Bilal, Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blades. Tyler, you want to start this one off for us?
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, so we're going to pass it to you, Tyler. You got 1 minute. With the 2 titles on the line, who are you taking in both fights and why? Your 1 minute starts now.
I got hands still for both. I think Leon's just too good, man. I think Bilal's good. I think he's on a good winning streak. But I think it'll be a good fight. But I don't think Bilal's got what it takes to beat a guy like Leon, especially in Leon's hometown, with all the momentum he's got. And man, I think Bilal might be a little nervous when he gets in there, bro. I think he's talking himself up, and just to make himself more comfortable. But I think once he gets in there and feels Leon again, I think it's going to be a whole different story. Tom, I don't think that first fight is even relevant compared to this fight. And I think, dude, just after that Sergey knockout, bro, I'm never picking against Tom Aspinall again, to be honest with you, bro. I mean, that was short notice, knocking out a killer like Sergey, man. What we've seen from Tom so far on paper, how could you pick against the guy? You know what I mean? So until I see somebody put some work on Tom, I'm picking Tom every time, bro.
Very nice. Very nice. Love it. A minute on the dot. Brandon, we're passing the same question to you. 2 titles on the line this weekend. Who are you taking in both fight and why? Your 1 minute starts now.
This one's tough. I mean, so initially I'm going and still with both as well. I agree with you, Tyler. But if we look at like from the betting odd perspective, Bilal's a plus 205 underdog, and Blades is a plus 280. I would be willing to take the underdog on Bilal just because, like, I think this is like the title fight of 2 overlooked guys. Like Leon Edwards was overlooked all the way up until he beat Usman. Bilal's been overlooked all the way up until basically this fight now. And I think that these 2 guys here are definitely 2 of the most underrated welterweights probably of a long time. I think him saying that if he beats him, he's like GSP status, I think that's stupid. Not even close. But for Tom, I mean, Tom is just probably the fastest, most agile, most powerful heavyweight on the roster. I think he beats John Jones whenever they face off. I'm going Tom and Leon, though, for sure.
Very nice. All right.
Can I say one more thing about those 2 fights real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
100%.
Bro, I think they're just the most rightful contenders, but that doesn't mean they're going to win, in my opinion. I think they're the most two deserving contenders as far as talking about Bilal and Curtis. I think the betting odds don't really show how close the fights might be. I think they are closer fights than the betting lines show. But I think just because you're the most deserving contender doesn't mean that you're the most challenging contender.
100%. Because if you look at the rankings, like I got them pulled up right here. At welterweight, you got Usman. He's lost twice to Edwards. You got Bilal Muhammad fighting for the belt. Shavkat, undefeated. I feel like he should be above Bilal, but Bilal's just been there for so long. It feels
you got to give it to Bilal because of his streak. I mean, he's definitely the most rightful, deserved contender, but I think Shavkat and JDN give Leon more problems than Bilal.
100%. Colby Covington, irrelevant at this point. And then you go to heavyweight. I mean, I truly think, like I said, Aspinall will beat Jones whenever they fight. I really do believe that. I think Aspinall is like the next coming of the greatest heavyweight of all time. But you got Ciryl Gane, been inactive, lost to Jones like that bad. Volkov just had a good win over Sergey. Sergey's on the downfall right now. Like I said, Blades is definitely and Blades is definitely the next up guy to face Tom. But I really think Tom wins this fight, and then, dude, I think he's GOAT status once he beats John. I truly believe it.
I don't think John is going to fight him, man. I think he'll fight Stipe and ride off to the sunset. But I don't think I don't think John is scared of Tom at all. No. I think that narrative is wrong, and definitely just a fan standpoint, just to try to make John fight Tom, just because that's the fight everybody wants to see. I think Tom definitely gives John his hardest fight, and most likely can beat him, just because we only saw John at heavyweight one time, and plus he wasn't he didn't have the physical looks that we thought he would have going up. I mean, he was kind of fat boy John a little bit. But he's still a beast, bro, regardless of anything, whatever narrative you put on John. But I don't think he fights Tom anyway.
No, and like the thing you think about too, though, is like Tom and Ciryl have such a similar game, and the way that John beat Ciryl is like, oh,
yeah, but I think Tom fucks him up too.
Yeah, 100%. What would you rather see, John Jones versus Tom, or John Jones versus Alex Pereira? Oh. This should have been a topic.
Probably John and Alex, bro. I'd rather see John and Alex than John and Tom, and I'd rather see John and Alex than Alex and Tom too.
Dang. Okay.
Because I think, hey, look, I know John has got a better resume and better wrestling credentials than Tom, but I think Tom's got a better chance of getting Alex to the ground than John does.
100%. Like that's the issue with Alex going to heavyweight, because there's so many dominant wrestlers, like really good, heavy, big dudes. I think could wrestle Alex to the ground, and then it's like, now what? Because that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? Because everybody's like, why don't you just take Alex down? That's obviously the route to victory. I mean, we've seen guys trying to take. Obviously, bro, it ain't that easy. I'm sorry to say it, bro, but it just ain't that easy.
Yeah,
it ain't that easy to just go in there and try to take that dude down, because once that dude's standing in front of you, it's not the same as what you were talking in the build-up. Once that guy's
power, his one-hit power is evident with the fight against Jamal Hill. Like, they were literally at a standstill, and he's like, all right, and then boom. And
people hesitate against Alex, bro.
Yep.
They hesitate, they get clipped, and just because it's like, oh, obviously taking him to the mat is the easiest route to victory, bro. I just don't think it's that easy. But I think Tom will do it. I think Tom would go across and just shoot that power double leg like he did on Arlovsky and took his back and choked him out. That doesn't mean he's going to finish Alex, but I think he will shoot immediately.
And I'm going to change to the last one.
Oh,
I'll throw it a curveball.
I was like, the floor is yours. Go for it. Yeah.
I'll take it over.
Hey, it's your show. You go for it.
Tyler, I want you to play matchmaker real quick. I've got the rankings pulled up. So off the top of the dome, I just want you to be like, this is the right fight to make.
I got you.
Instead of Mount Rushmore, we can still go to Mount Rushmore later, but I'm curious now. You've piqued my interest.
I got you.
We'll go with flyweight because you're a flyweight. I'm not going to skip it. Who would you have Pantoja fight?
The Japanese dude coming in. Give him the title shot off the rip. There's nobody else. Obviously, flyweight.
Tyra?
Yeah, obviously, flyweight's begging for a superstar because the only superstar they had fought Figueiredo 4 times and couldn't consistently hold. the belt. So they're begging for a superstar. They just gave Steve Verseg a title shot. If you can put any type of exciting streak together in the UFC at flyweight, you're getting a shot. So I'd say immediately give that guy a shot. If not, the winner of Makayev and Cap.
So I would definitely agree with you there. And so with bantamweight, there's already the match made. I think this is the right one. I'm sure you'll agree. But Sean O'Malley, Marab.
Yeah.
For Ilya, who's next for Ilya? Who would you put against him?
Max. If Max is going down, if he's staying at 55, do the Volk rematch.
You don't want to just throw Diego Lopez up in there and see what happens?
Nah, because you got Mavzar, bro. I mean, hey, look, man, I can really care less about Mavzar, but you can't deny the streak. So if you're talking about rankings and stuff, then Mavzar comes before Lopez. If Lopez would have fought Brian and beat Brian, then yeah.
I think, and this isn't breaking news from Brandon Anderson on Knuckle Sandwich, so don't drop this, but I'm pretty sure Ilya and Max is signed. I haven't announced it yet, but they've both been posting like, "Oh, fight news coming soon" type stuff. I think it has.
We'll see if Max can get back down. That's gonna be rough. That's gonna be rough, dog.
Who's next for Islam? I had a debate about this a couple weeks ago, or like one of our first little live streams we did. I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, it should have been Gaethje instead of him fighting Max. Gaethje should have got the shot, but unfortunately, he got knocked out. So let's see.
You've got Arman with the suspension.
Yeah, give it to Arman.
So with him being suspended, though, who do you choose, or do you just
wait?
But
he should be off that suspension by the time Islam's ready to go, right?
That's true. I think so. Like
because Islam just had that banger with Poirier. I'm sure he's got some. Plus, he had staff.
Yeah, you're right. Leon, we got Bilal. DDP, Dricus Du Plessis is scheduled against Israel.
Yeah.
What do you think about Izzy getting that title shot?
I mean, by superstardom, yeah, give him the shot. Plus the backstory on that. Give him the shot. I don't mind watching it. I think either one. I think it's a 50-50 fight. But it's definitely up in the air for who's next as far as Whitaker and Strickland. But personally, I'd go with Whitaker.
Pereira.
Man, do we really want to see Magomed, bro, off of Johnny Walker? I mean, I guess Magomed, bro. But, I mean, if Jamal Hill can get another win, just give him the rematch.
And they were going to have Jamal Hill fighting Khalil Roundtree, though. That, like, fighting super low down.
I know, but maybe do Jamal and Blachowicz and winner of them.
Khalil's a killer though, so
yeah, because Yuri ain't getting a shot. So do Jamal Hill and Blachowicz, winner of that gets a shot. If not, then I guess Magomed.
Of course, John Jones.
That heavyweight.
Yeah. I mean, Stipe has already been announced November 9th. So
man, I mean, if that fight even happens, if it don't, winner of Tom and Blades, for sure. But I say Tom. Fight him now. Jones and Tom should be fighting this weekend.
I would love that. That'd be wonderful. All right, Mount Rushmore, top 4 greatest of all time fighters for Tyler Stout. Who's your top 4 greatest of all time?
GSP. I guess you got to throw Jones in there. Not my favorite, but you got to throw Jones in there.
You don't have to. This is your Mount Rushmore. You can do whatever you want.
Oh, okay. Shit. GSP. Volk. Let's see. Anderson Silva. And between Usman and Islam.
And I like to give my fighters a chance to give shout-outs and things like that at the end of the podcast. So the floor is yours, my guy. If you shout-out sponsors, managers, whatever.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Shout-out ECB Sports Management, Ed Barnett. Shout-out to my dad, Matt Stout. Shout-out to my training partner, Bryant Haynes. Shout-out to Stumpy. Shout-out Derek Dispinette, Zachary Grasso, Nathan Two Bills Pierce. Shout-out to Thumper at Uppercuts Barbershop. Shout out to Splits. That's the new sponsor I got. I should be the main face of that. And shout out to KT Williams over there hooking me up with my shorts. And man, shout out to the Team Wild Bunch. And shout out to Fury FC, man, for giving me my shot, my fourth idea, bro. And shout out to Knuckle Sandwich Podcast, my boy.
Hey, there we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, catch Tyler Stout on Fury FC 95 Lingo versus Teague August 2nd on the UFC Fight Pass, making his pro debut against Aaron Peterson. It's going to be lights out, no smoke.
Put your money on your boy.
Bro. You can now bet on him. Come on now.